fans. While the spotlight is on J.J. McCarthy, a silent name could be the secret weapon of the defense in 2025. But on the other side of the field, the pressure is growing. The roster still lacks a reliable quarterback in case the rookie isn't ready. And the name of a veteran Super Bowl champion is already surfacing behind the scenes. Welcome! Show your support for the Vikings by reaching 100 likes on today's video. If you're not yet familiar with Isaiah Rodgers, get ready to hear that name a lot in the 2025-26 Vikings season. The cornerback, signed quietly in March, could be the missing piece to transform a good defense into a dominant unit. Forgotten by many national analysts, Rodgers has been catching attention internally and also from the more observant insiders as one of the league's most valuable hidden talents. Rodgers was suspended for the entire 2023 season for violating the NFL's gambling policy while playing for the Indianapolis Colts. A serious mistake, yes, but it seems to have served as a wake-up call. In 2024, he returned to the field with the Eagles and registered a solid season, with a PFF grade of 73.2 in coverage and 83.4 against the run, numbers that place him among the top 25 CBs in the league. On paper, he arrives to form a duo with Byron Murphy Jr., anchoring Brian Flores' aggressive system. And here's the central point. Flores was the one who specifically requested his signing. In a recent interview, the defensive coordinator admitted he has been following Rodgers since his UMass days. He has always been on my radar. He's fast, a playmaker, has instincts, and has already shown versatility on special teams, the coach said. This internal support is reinforced by heavyweight analysts. Brad Berriman from the Viking Age highlighted that Rodgers could be the secret ingredient of the defense. Alec Lewis from The Athletic listed him as a breakout player candidate for the season, emphasizing that the athlete impressed throughout the offseason and is ready to be a starter. The history supports this optimism. In 2021, Rodgers had 3 interceptions and seemed destined to become a staple on the Colts defense. In 2022, he started 9 games. After the suspension, he returned focused and is already showing the technical level that initially got him on the NFL's radar. More than just numbers, Rodgers offers something rare: athletic fluidity with game reading. He's fast, anticipates routes, has ball skills, and most importantly, he fits perfectly into the man-to-man coverage philosophy that Flores implements in Minnesota. This allows greater freedom for the front to pressure and minimizes gaps in the secondary, one of the defense's weaknesses last year. The quiet signing of Rodgers also represents market intelligence. While other teams are pouring millions into big-name CBs, the Vikings have bet on someone who has already shown potential, comes with an affordable contract, and carries a hunger for a fresh start. In a league of inflated salaries, finding real value off the radar is a competitive advantage. If he maintains the level from training during the season, it won't be an exaggeration to say that the Vikings will have made one of the most effective signings of 2025. And with an increasingly solid roster, perhaps this is the type of player that will finally take Minnesota to the next level in the playoffs. However, for that to happen, the offense needs to do its part. And at this point, there's a piece still missing, and time to act is running out. The confidence in J.J. McCarthy is high, perhaps too high. The rookie, selected at the top of the 2024 draft, is officially the starter for the season, even without ever playing a professional snap, due to the knee injury that sidelined him last year. The front office is betting that he is the future. But what about the present? That remains filled with uncertainties. And it's exactly why there's a growing movement for the Vikings to bring in Joe Flacco, Super Bowl champion and current QB of the Cleveland Browns. The discussion has gained strength behind the scenes because, despite the public discourse, the Vikings' quarterback room is currently fragile. Sam Howell, the immediate backup, has 18 games as a starter and a concerning record of 5 wins and 13 losses. Brett Rypien, the QB3, has been through several teams without convincing anyone. Max Brosmer, an undrafted rookie, is likely to end up on the practice squad. In other words, if McCarthy falters or gets hurt again, who's going to hold the fort? That's where Flacco comes in, 40 years old but still functional. The veteran led the Browns to 4 wins in 5 games at the end of the 2023 season, taking the team to the playoffs. And in 2024, he won the competition against Anthony Richardson on the Colts, remaining the starter for several weeks. He may not be a franchise QB anymore, but he has shown he can still win games. Currently, Flacco is caught in a 4-way battle in Cleveland, competing with Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel. The general bet is that Pickett will be kept for being younger, while Flacco is expected to become trade bait by mid-August. And at that point, Minnesota appears as an ideal destination. The proposal advocated by analysts like Matt Holder from Bleacher Report is simple. Offer a day 3 draft pick to secure the missing backup, a low price for an expensive insurance policy. And in a team that has talent across all sectors, it's a move that makes total sense. Waiting can be dangerous. With each passing day, more teams recognize that they need depth at the most important position in the sport. If the Vikings hesitate, they risk seeing Flacco go to another contender, perhaps even within the NFC itself. And then, if McCarthy fails, the entire season could go down the drain. Of course, bringing in Flacco has implications. He's a strong name, with credentials that attracts attention. If McCarthy struggles in the first weeks, calls for a change in command will arise. But the truth is, in 2025, the Vikings cannot afford to make mistakes. The roster is ready, the window is open, and betting everything on a quarterback who has never played could be too bold. What's at stake here is not just the backup position. It's the credibility of the McCarthy project and the seriousness with which the front office is treating the real chance to contend for the Super Bowl. Being cautious has never been a sign of weakness, and having Flacco on the bench is today the smartest move the Vikings could make. Isaiah Rodgers could be the find of the year for the defense, while Joe Flacco could be the safety net for the offense. They are 2 discrete names, but with enormous potential for impact. If the Vikings truly want to move from promise to powerhouse, they need to balance bold bets like McCarthy with solid guarantees like Flacco, and trust that on the other side of the ball, Rodgers will transform their defense into a machine. And you, Vikings fan, would you bring in Joe Flacco now, or give more time to McCarthy and Howell? And Rodgers, is it an exaggeration to expect him to be the CB that this defense needs to shine? Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more behind-the-scenes action straight from Minnesota.